Hopefully everyone's doing good, getting outdoors this summer and fishing. This is probably the most requested video. I just haven't had time to do it yet. But this is my HOBIE Pro Angler 12 foot in my 2023 setup. So I'm going to try to walk everybody through. It's super hot out here, so I'm going to do it kind of fast. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I will try to do follow-up videos to get more into some of the particulars, especially when it has to do with some of the electronics. So starting from front to rear, so I do have a bow-mounted Minn Kota Tarova trolling motor mounted up here in the front. It's powered by a 50 amp hour Dakota lithium that's in the rear. I do have a power outlet ran up here to the front of the kayak, just forward of the hatch. I have a drop cord that is put into the sidewall near my seat, routed up through the front hatch out to the drop push bracket here, so that I can just pull the cord while I'm still sitting down to raise or lower my trolling motor without having to stand up or come forward. I do have a cord right here that is on a 550 cord bracelet that will allow it to turn, just in case I want to use iPilot or something like that. It doesn't continue to spin and the cord doesn't get wrapped up on the shaft and or ripped out of the stow in the front. So this is where I have it routed. I have it right here on the left sidewall, close to my seat. So I can just pull this cord down to raise or lower it. And then I have this cord right here with the handle just to be able to stabilize it as it goes down, or to pull to come up to store it. So I run two Lawrence HDS Live 9s. They do talk to each other via Ethernet. I have them mounted utilizing the Bass Boat Technology brackets, and then fishfindermounts.com pontoon rail fish finder brackets. I have a 0.1 GPS made by Lawrence, just mounted right here in the middle. What I use both these for is I have one dedicated solely for active target, and then I use the left one here for my 3-to-1 transducer and maps. So I have C maps loaded on here. They talk to each other, so if I see a brush pile or something on my active target, I can go ahead and push to make a waypoint here. And whatever I do here will transfer over to my maps and vice versa. It makes it really user-friendly, and it's just awesome to operate.
I wanna lay beneath the stars with you in the back of my truck.
Went ahead and took out the liner, and I carry two 23 amp Dakota lithiums for my electronics. And I have a Berkeley Pro mounting bracket up here, and I have my active target module right here on the left, and then a Kayak Power 7 outlet module to the right of that. This Kayak Power module pretty much runs everything. So I can turn on my nav lights. It runs my internal and external lights, and it also powers my units. The only thing it doesn't power is my trolling motor and my active target. I use the Berkeley Pro hatch liner For my middle hatch here, I have the Yak Power remote wired into this, and then I haven't really finished wiring everything up yet. That's a project that I just haven't gotten to yet, but I can control everything, all my nav lights, power pole, units, pretty much power to everything, just forward here, right underneath my feet. So it's kind of nice. So underneath my seat, I pretty much store all my tackle, and it differs from what I'm fishing for. Right now, my kayak is set up to catfish, so I keep all my catfish tackle under my seat. Really, the only difference between bass fishing and catfishing for my setup is my under seat tackle storage, and I just remove my monster catfish rods that I have round mounted. I just remove them to make extra room when I'm bass fishing, and they just twist on and twist off. But this is a pretty cool setup on how I store all my catfishing tackle. They're in this DeWatt T-Stack box, and I just have them organized by drawers. I have everything here to change rigs, re-rig, and so forth. Weights, and then all my terminal tackles stored up here, hooks, everything that I need to re-rig.
Your life, I wanna figure out what it takes to give you everything.
And if I'm bass fishing, I put this one objective tackle thin storage underneath my seat. It allows me to slide in my different tackle storage for all my bass fishing lures that I plan on throwing for the day. I do have a anchor wizard mounted up here in the front with a DeBalm 6-pound anchor ball. I don't use this very much because I tend to use my power pole, and I just don't anchor too much. If I do, I'm going to put down my trolling motor with iPilot, or I'm going to put down my anchor, my power pole shallow water anchor. So I went back and forth with seat cushions. One company that I found that I only use right now is Kayak cushion. I have multiple of their cushions. I love them. Company is awesome. They'll do custom logos for you, just custom colors, and they're just amazing. So I run the Kayak cushions back and rear, and then I also run the Cush bar, and I can sit for an 8-hour tournament, no problem. Highly recommend it, Kayak cushion. I have my 3-to-1 transducer mounted down below, and then on the side here I have my active target transducer mounted on the fishfinder.com rail mount. I absolutely love this. It just gives you flexibility for angle, depth. It's just awesome. You can fold it up out of the way like it is right now, or drop it down. Super easy. I absolutely love this mount. It's by fishfindermounts.com. It's definitely the best mount that I've found thus far. So finishing up here in the center, I do have multiple lights made by Yak Power. Up here I run blue lights in the center of the kayak. I have 8 of them mounted throughout to evenly illuminate it at night, and then my nav lights front and then rear. And I do have my GPS puck mounted on the one objective puck mount right here. This Minn Kota puck is for my trolling motor. And then I tend to run multiple cameras, so I run one front right there, right next to the Minn Kota puck, and then I run one right here off the rail. I do have 3 power outlets for USB. I have one wired right here, right by the rear GoPro mount, in the sidewall, just right below the forward GoPro mount. And I also have one wired into the center hatch, into the Berkeley liner for charging my cell phone or remotes or small electronics like that.
You desire.
Here at the rear of the kayak, I have my yak box right here. I don't really keep too much tack on there, especially if I'm catfishing. All that's under my seat. What I do have in there is just extra stuff like gloves, my extra power pull battery just in case battery dies. And then I always keep my Yeti cooler back here so I can keep cold drinks, snacks, stuff like that, especially if it's a long tournament. Right behind that, I have my 50 amp hour Dakota lithium for my trolling motor. It's wired right up here, just behind the yak crate, and then wired up to the outlet at the bow of the kayak. So I run the Berkeley Pro 360 nav light here in the back. This light is amazing. It's angled down to produce light for other boaters to be able to see you, and then down so that it will also illuminate and give you light here in the cabin of the kayak. Towards the rear, I have my PowerPole Micro shallow water anchor system. It's a must-have for me, especially in these rivers. Sometimes I just like to put my PowerPole down, throw out multiple rods, and just sit in some shade, and it'll keep me in place. I absolutely love it.
Baby, you've been driving me crazy.
And then lastly, I do run the Boondocks aluminum rudder, extra large rudder here in the back. And the steerability is just, it's amazing what those rudders do to help the overall steerability of the kayak versus the stock rudder that comes on it.
Put a record on, let's hide the phones and make believe the world don't exist. Let's pull up ties and take a trip to someplace new. Don't care where, as long as I have you. Baby, you've been driving me crazy for so long now.
Alright, well that's just a quick run through of my 2023 setup on my HOBIE Pro Angler 12 foot. Absolutely love this kayak. There's a ton of other upgrades that I'm planning on doing for 2024, so stay tuned for that video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and have a nice day. Thank you for watching.